Hello everyone, and let's begin with this basic tutorial for Paintx UDIM workflow. As you can see, we have this model and I have this reference from Krea.ai, and let's create Paintx for the first layer. And as you can see, we can select or change this UDIM in here, and I can adjust this color of this UDIM. Of course, this is simple stuff, and as you can see, we have this color for the edges, for example. So I can increase, of course, this subdivision for better curvature effect. And as you can see, I have some mask, and I can go with any color I want in here. So maybe this one, it will be a decent for now. And this is a basic stuff. Honestly, just I want to show you how we can work with UDIM in Paintx. And this is, for example, this object, and I'm pretty happy with it. So now, as you can see, we have this parameter for the specular, and we can just use the mask for metalliness, for example, or invert the mask. And this is an amazing and useful option to have for material property, as you can see. And you can, of course, change the roughness and the specular intensity, etc. So let's create another layer in here, as you can see. And let's go, for example, this object. And as you can see, this is good. Of course, you see, we copy the same layer for this object too, and this curvature doing very well. So have this in mind. You need this subdivision and more polygon for better curvature. And let's create an empty layer now, and let's wait, and let's select another UDIM, for example, this one, these jets. And as you can see, now we are manipulating or creating this layer of color. As you can see, if I change that, as you can see, we have this layer of the colors. And and we can have this and maybe more subdivision. You see that? And this is a simple and friendly UI for painting UDIM in Houdini. As you can see, just you need to paint or create a mask. This is a noise mask, by the way, and you can manipulate some color, and you can have anything you want. And in upcoming version, we have more mask like distance and group, etc. And you see, I'm just changing the mask for this layer, and I use another empty layer. And let's calculate. So because we have more subdivision, and now we have a dense geometry, so I want to paint this black mask for example, the eye. Let's select it, and it will select the UDIM automatically. Let me show you. Okay, we have that. And let's go for black color. And and maybe more specular, and little bit of color in here and subdivision. This is not bad. And maybe I can go with a noise to break the pattern. Maybe that. No, not that. You can have a roughness to this noise and changing the size, of course. and you can go with FG for foreground color. And in the upcoming version we have a blend option too. You can multiply this color, you can add or screen this color too. So we're gonna release that very soon. And you see we have this part, and I will create another empty Paintx layer for the leg. And yeah, maybe that. And yeah, that's not bad. Of course you can multiply this subdivision or quality, and this is our basic version. And for example, I want to paint a logo to this armor, so we need to do that. After this one, you can go with attach new layer, and it will create a new layer between these two, and it will select the same UDIM. And maybe let's see. Okay, let's, for example, let's go to the paint, enable paint and active paint. When the paint is active, you can dive in and go inside your HDA, and you can paint a mask here. For example, I will use some PNG mask, and I will use this stamp. And this is simple stuff, just I want to show you how you can get on with it. And as you can see, we create a mask, and we can go with FG and BG color. And now let's create, for example, another layer, attach layer. Just I want to show you how you can add detail to the same layer over and over, and that's very simple in Paintx. And you see all this layer, for example, for the armor, and maybe in here I want to add some noise. We have the background from the previous one, and we have this noise as a mask. Now I can go with FG color and add any color instead of the white color. And yeah, we can go with this green color. As you can see, we adding more and more layer and detail to this armor. If we want to paint that, we can paint that, and we can have a height map or displacement map in here, or normal map. As you can see, we have something, you see that this bump and normal map, it will create from our beauty pass. And as you can see, when I dive in, you can have a devlook app, and of course we can update the UDIM here. In the next version, you don't need to update this material. Since you got in and dive in Karma, it will update automatically. And as you can see, this is amazing. This is already set up for you, Material X and Karma with a CPU. We suggest to do that because it's not stable with COPS 2.0 yet. But yeah, as you can see, this is a dev look for your painting. This is amazing. Of course, you can change all this layer and the color and see it in live, and feed a live feedback of lighting and shadow. As you can see, I'm changing this azimuth of the light, and of course we have studio light, and of course we have this camera. You can use it, but yeah, it's experimental. In some cases it's not working very well with some model and coordinate, but yeah, you have something like that. And yeah, this is our dev look, and this is our material, and we have the holder now. If you want to bounce your light to your object, you see we have that. And this is pretty dense, yeah, model. Now as you can see, we multiply that more and more, and of course you can do this multiplication with dicing option on the render time, not in viewport. This is not efficient way. We did that in viewport because we need more curvature, and in the final version you can add this. You see, exporting this file in here, and you see this file is containing all the UDIM part. You see, you have the base color, height for displacement map, metalliness, and this is just for the current UDIM. You see that? But if you want all UDIM export at once, you need to change all UDIM and check enable that. And of course, after a calculation, you see that we don't have any UDIM, you see, but if in here I can go and see if the all UDIM will export or not. And as you can see, voila, we have all UDIM now exports. You see, all the texture now it's available, and you can use this one with every software you want: Unreal Engine, Arnold renderer, and renderman, etc. And this is amazing. So with that, this is the basic example, and the more is coming in Paintx 0.5. See you until then.